Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shields, death slicers, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. And let's go back to the good old USA. I want to talk about Bernie Sanders. I want to talk about probably what's my favorite policy of his. And I read an article recently that seemed to agree with that. So it spurred me to do this video. And that's his transaction tax on all financial speculation. And I think that's just a great idea. Nobody really gets hurt, and it generates a lot of revenue and could create a lot of good programs. And it would tax high-frequency trading, buying and selling stocks as competition, insider trading, and trading in complex derivatives. All of that would be taxed. And the tax stock would be done at 0.5%, which would be $5 on every $1,000 trade. That seems like a small amount to kick in, particularly on this huge sector of the economy, this huge sector of the financials that really generates nothing for anybody except for wealth transfer to the top. It doesn't really produce anything. It doesn't create jobs. It's a very unproductive sector of the economy. And the Tax Policy Center speculates, so to speak, that it would raise $185 billion over 10 years, although I've heard a lot of other figures thrown around as well. And I think the potential for it to generate considerably more than that is probably likely when one considers the amount of trades that are done, trillions, that a lot more money could be generated. And the investors, the consumers pay a sales tax now. This is something the article pointed out. Consumers pay sales taxes on everything, and there's no reason why investors shouldn't pay something similar, because right now they don't pay any taxes on the sort of market moves. And in the financial industry, 30% of U.S. corporate profits pay only 18% of corporate taxes. So this could shift that to something a little more positive for this economy in the United States. And it's not a brand new idea by any stretch. From 1914 to 1966, the U.S. Had taxed all financial transactions. So, of course, that was discontinued. We also have 28 other countries in the world that have these transaction taxes. And Keynes, John Maynard Keynes, recommended it after the Great Depression, and probably after seeing the result of a lot of government intervention and government debt, and all the speculation, of course, that led up to the financial crash of 1929 and the Great Depression. So, of course, bankers complain, and that it will drive trading overseas. But it seems that the global financial network is tightening its noose and eliminating these loopholes globally. So it might not be so easy for them to move their trading overseas with this transaction tax. In fact, the UK has a stock trade tax and it generates 3 billion pounds a year. And so I think this is just a wonderful idea, and I know it smacks of socialism, and but compared to crony capitalism, it sounds like pure capitalism. And the only thing we have to fear is that the government, of course, will end up getting this money and then spending it on some kind of dumb bullshit. But what's the likelihood of that happening? I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too?